Along with the command line methods of managing services, we also have a few other tools that we can use. The first utility that we will look at is System Config Services. It isn't installed by default, but you can easily install it with Yum. Once you have System Config Services installed, you can access it by going to System, Administration, and then Services. On the left-hand side, we have a listing of all of our services and their startup settings. The green circle means that the service is set to start at boot time and run levels 2 through 5. Again, we will go into details about the different run levels in a later video. The red circle indicates that the service is not set to start at all when the system boots. The services that have a control panel icon next to them indicates that they are set to start automatically within different run levels. To view those settings, highlight one of the services, then click the Customize button. Here we can see that the Avahi daemon service is set to start in run levels 3, 4, and 5. To enable or disable a service, just highlight it and click the Enable or Disable buttons. Just as with the service command, we can stop, start, and restart currently running services. Just highlight a service and click the Stop button. And if we look to the right, we can see that the SSHD service is stopped, along with some other information about the service. There is another program that we can use to manage services called NTsysv that we can run from the command line. NTsysv is a text interface utility that lets us enable or disable services at boot time, just as the check config command does. We can use the arrow keys to scroll down to view our services, and we can use the spacebar to enable or disable a service. There is one drawback to the NTsysv utility. It will only modify a service's startup capability in the current run level that you are running the command from. For instance, we are in the graphical desktop environment, which is run level 5. So if we disable the cron-d service when in run level 5, the NTsysv utility will only modify the service for that run level. Here is an example. Let's take a look at the listing of our cron-d service. Now, let's go back to NTsysv and disable the service there. Now, let's look at our check config output for cron-d again. And we can see that only run level 5 is affected. However you modify your services, just be sure to remember that whatever services you are required to have running when the system boots, that you have them properly set up to do so in order for you to get credit for them on the RHCSA exam.